Now, there are my boxes, and there is everybody. Hi, guys. Hello, 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 hello. Look at you all flooding in. There's a big woolly cow. Let's go.
I'm clearly not focused on the right square.
Other lovely faces and
oh my gosh,
avatars. It's great. It's good to see you all.
Welcome, welcome. Hi. All right. Welcome to the Sid City Social Club for Friday, March 18th. I'm Mel with SidCity.net. You guys know Sid. With that, over to Sid.
Thank you very much, Mel. Warming up in Massachusetts, I'm happy to say. I've had enough of the cold, although I think we'll get another cold snap. That's the end of the mundanity of me talking about the weather. We have got some terrific people to talk to today, and there's an awful lot to talk about. But if you particularly don't want to talk about a certain subject, just say you don't want to talk about it, and it will be water off a duck's back to me, and we'll just move on to another subject. That's always the way here, really. With that, let's get started because we've got lots and lots of people to talk to today.
All right, we've got a couple of quick birthday shout outs. Kate, I believe, is a St. Patrick's Day baby.
Oh my goodness, Kate.
Actually, it's the Ides of March baby. So
Ides of March baby. Well,
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. That was really cool.
How are you, Kate? I know we're not going to talk for long, but how are you? How are you?
I'm good.
We talked the other day. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I am glad to hear it.
Yeah, it was a good birthday. I did nothing. It was fantastic. I didn't respond to any emails. I just sat around.
Yeah.
Had a nice dinner. Caught up on The Bachelor. It was fantastic.
Perfect. Donna would love that. She would love that. That's her idea. Great day. She likes terrible TV. We have real clash of TV likes.
Yeah. No, I watched that one alone. So yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to get people to come and watch it. I did watch the one. What did I watch first time with her? Something about Vanderpump.
Woman, no, I can't even do that. No.
A woman called Vanderpump. She loves all that. That's
no. The Bachelor is the most that I can handle.
Yeah. That's it. Was there a big scandal with The Bachelor? Was that?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was really bad this time. Yeah, it was really bad.
Someone ripped off. Something happened.
Maybe you should just ask your wife to explain it, but it's a long story.
All right, I'll get the explanation from downstairs. Okay. Thank you, Kate, and happy.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mel.
Happy birthday, Kate.
Thanks.
All right, now I know this one's a St. Patrick's Day baby. That's Sophie.
Hello.
Happy birthday, Sophie!
Happy
That's
birthday.
So cool.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sophie.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That is so cool.
So I am in New York.
You're in New York.
I am, and I'm getting to hang out with Amy in person.
That's so fantastic. That's so
Right?
cool. I'm really happy about that. What do you do for your birthday?
So we went to the theater last night because of course we did.
What did you see?
We saw David Byrne's American Utopia.
Oh, what's that like? I've heard it's fantastic.
So good. So good. I mean, I saw the recording of it in the film festival in 2020, and the cast recording of it ended up just becoming the soundtrack of my pandemic because my flatmate and I would just listen to it on repeat all the time when we were working from home. So it was interesting seeing it actually in person. It was so good. It was so much fun.
And when was the last time you went to the theatre? Either of you?
Oh gosh, I mean, for me, I think it was November.
Okay, so relatively.
We saw Anne and Juliet together.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we went to with you. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
When I was in London, I was like, I want to see some shows. Would you like to come? And I made her see Anne and Juliet is basically pop music, but it's a sequel to Romeo and Juliet, but to Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears songs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is so camp. That is fantastic. That's really cool. That's great. I missed the whole Backstreet Boys phenomenon. I was doing Star Trek. So it just completely passed me by. I didn't listen to any of that music. I was listening to grunge. What's that about? I was listening to, I felt, with a choice of happy music or depressing, I went for depressing all the time, every time. Oh, you know what? Who I listened to the other day, who I thought was amazing. And I should tell you guys, because I have never discovered her before. Not just you personally, but everybody, but you definitely, because you might appreciate it. There is, this is going to sound really dumb, but I was going to say, there is this rock star called Rihanna.
Yes, you're familiar.
Yeah, I might be familiar with Rihanna.
I have never heard her before. And I heard a song called Love on the Brain, which is a new song, I think, a newish song of hers. It is fantastic. And then I listened to another song, and the one I loved was called Better Have My Money. It doesn't sound quite right with my accent.
I love that. Did you know Mads Mikkelsen stars in like the music video for that? You should look it up. It's really good.
I did. I saw the music video. I loved it. I loved it. Anyway, yeah, that was a massive revelation for me. It just shows how if I'm staying in my lane, I just can't see left or right.
I totally didn't see.
Crazy. So listen, have a lovely continuing birthday. Don't let it stop.
Yes,
I will.
Roll it on.
To brag.
That's just beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. Click. Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, Sophie.
Thank you.
Sid, I'm so glad that you've discovered Rihanna.
I did.
After 15 years. Okay, we are going to go check in with Salma, who has not talked to us in like a year and a half. She's been ignoring us. And it was her birthday today too.
Salma! Hi. A person from Cairo.
Yes.
How fantastic to see you again.
It's good to see you guys too.
I'm so glad you're healthy. And how's your family?
They're very well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad. So everybody's avoided some of the problems.
Yes, definitely. And we took the vaccine like ages ago and everything's good now. Yeah, relatively good.
That's great. How was the vaccine, the availability of vaccine in Egypt?
Pretty available. So those under 20, they got like the Chinese one, so Sinopharm. But my brother and my mother, they got AstraZeneca. Some younger folks now can take Pfizer. It's really widely available now.
That's fantastic. That's really cool. And how is Egypt? How is the community? How is your community?
It's okay, I think. It's a bit cold. It's a bit cold, like the weather. It's a bit cold now because we're in sort of winter. But I love the winter because like I'm a Pisces kid, so I like water and you know.
Yeah, my wife too. She thinks she likes to say that she's a mermaid. So she's.
Yes, exactly. It's like we love being next to the water. It makes us like and like cold weather.
That's really cool. That's really great. What took you away from us for so long?
I've been a bit busy. So I told you before I was studying political science and journalism. And so I actually took a bit of a step with that. And I started working in a magazine. And I'm also working, not working, but like volunteering with the school, with the faculty or the college magazine. And I'm working and I'm volunteering. I'm doing a lot of things.
That is fantastic. That is a wonderful thing. That really is. Is it your birthday? And I haven't said so.
Yes, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. A happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Birthday, Salma.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I can be a real himbo at times and forget things like why we're talking to each other for a couple of seconds. But I was so excited to see you again.
Oh, thank you.
Escaped me. What's it like working on the paper? That's all brand new. You were just in aspiration last time.
Yes, I'm not actually working. It's online, so it's not actually paper. But
I know, but we're going to always call it that until you guys will call it online, but we're stuck with paper. Yeah.
I mean, keep up with the times. You have to keep up with the times.
Yeah. It's like some people still call video, I'm going to take a video. It's not a video. And have you got a CD of that? No, this is all great. I'm just from another generation.
Actually, I collect CDs. I'm a CD collector. Yes, my friends call me fashion because no one collects CDs. Like you can collect vinyl because it's cool, but I collect CDs
You
because I
collect
like
the
CDs.
uncool thing. I bet you it's
Yes.
gonna be cool one day. I reckon
I
that's
bet, yes, because it's gonna be vintage. Like
That's fantastic. So what's it like working online and for this new thing? What is your role? What are you up to?
basically I cover news, or I write like features or editorials. So basically I just cover things. I do interviews sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's very low key. It's not like a huge platform. It's very low key. But I'm really happy because I have a chance to write, and it's something I've wanted to do since forever. So yeah.
Ah, that's fantastic. Who is your favorite writer?
If we're talking Egyptian literature, then yes, Naguib Mahfouz is like insane to us. Yani he's like a
He's
very
like
big icon.
He's like Dickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've read like 3 of his books and they're just amazing.
He's awesome. And but I also read other authors. Like there's an Egyptian author called Omar Tahir that I like to read for. He's still alive, thankfully.
Omar Tahir.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
I'm writing that
I could
down.
write the name for you. Wait.
Yeah, write it in the thing so people, because it's probably Omartahir. So you talk to journalists, do some interviews. What's your favorite reporting? News, entertainment, interviews.
Because it's interesting that if you interview someone you're actually interested in, you usually actually ask them interesting questions and you get interesting answers, and maybe you could get something like off the record, and it's usually really fun.
Absolutely. Will you do me, see if you can ask your people, your boss and stuff, if you can write me a list of questions, if they don't mind me being interviewed for one of your
We would love that. Obviously, we'd love that.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Get that done, because what are we here for otherwise?
Oh my
Of
God,
course.
thank you.
So I can just email back all the answers and you'll have obviously I only speak English and I can't.
It's okay. We write in
everyone-
English too. It's okay.
Right. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's do that. And you can ask me things about whatever you want. Yeah, come up with your own thing. Because normally I don't usually do a lot of interviews, but I make an exception when I think it's either scholarly or this, which I think of is also scholarly. But I also do a lot of film publicity, and that is no fun because you have to go, I loved this film. Even if you didn't. Even if you felt that the movie you've just made isn't that good, you have to go, it's the best movie I've ever made. And that makes me die a little every time I lie like that. So I try not to do that anymore. I do try and tell the truth about it. And I do try and warn people that if you ask me about this film, I might not give you an answer that is palatable to your publicists. But we'll see how it goes. I'd love that. Yeah, write me some stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That'd be great. It'd be great, Salma. You were in Cairo, yeah?
Yeah, I'm born and bred and still living in Cairo.
I stayed when I made this lovely film, actually. And I can say
Cairo
that
Time.
when I made Cairo Time with the amazing actress that I work with, Patricia Clarkson, if anyone's wondering, I stayed in a place called the Shepherd Hotel. I think it was called the Shepherd Hotel. And it's a famous old establishment in Cairo. And for my taste, it's just too old. It doesn't look like they've redecorated it.
Last time you mentioned it, actually, and so I asked my mom because I wasn't sure which hotel was this, and she actually showed me it's being renovated now into a new hotel, so it's not going to be called the Shepherd anymore. And
I used to walk along the river, and just to be in my own head, because I would prepare. This would be early in the morning, preparing for my day. I would walk along the Nile, which I absolutely love doing. And what I really loved about it is that I imagined that because the Nile's come all the way from the center of Africa, all the way out to the Mediterranean. And I just imagined all the stories in that river. And that's a bit Naguib Mahfouzi, because he would say something like that. And it would be all, and just because of all the crocodiles, the death, the wars in Central Africa, which always seem to be occurring. and all these things that would have come up and just were washed out by this huge, amazing river. And of course, in Khartoum in Sudan is where the confluence of the Nile. And if you can, there is a bridge you can stand on. I'm kind of telling other people this because you know this, but there's a bridge you can stand on where the White Nile and the Blue Nile meet, and you can actually see the color white and the color blue, and they conjoin and go on up into Egypt. It's amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm hoping that it's a bit more, because it was so unstable a couple of years ago, and I'm just hoping people have got used to a way of living that is, and find a way to be happy and relaxed, and let Cairo be Cairo again, because it's such a great city.
We're trying.
Good. That's really cool. Well, I think that I will have to try and squeeze in 2 more people. So do you mind if I'm really rude and shut?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
But,
thank you so much for your
email
time.
me. No problem at all.
Thank you, Mel.
Thanks, Salma. Happy birthday. All right. We got a blast from Sid's past here. Randy, you're up.
Sid.
Oh my God.
You remember me, dude?
Of course I do. You were Odo's double.
Actually, O'Brien's, but
O'Brien. O'Brien. That's it. I just don't remember exactly who it was, but absolutely. Wow, Randy.
Dude, for 22 years, you don't know how many times I've said out loud to people, I really wish I could say hi to Sid again. It's been so long and we've lost touch. I don't have his email. And then I saw that everybody's saying hi to Sid like every week. And I thought, well, maybe I should do that.
Thank goodness you did. What a lovely surprise. How you look great. You look exactly the same. I couldn't possibly not recognize you.
Oh man, are you kidding me? With a gray
you've
beard?
got grayer hair. Yeah, but
which are all the fashion now, you know.
We get gray hair.
We're still around, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about the age I was when we worked together.
You were a young'un. You weren't 50. I'm 57.
Holy crap! I would not have guessed that. I didn't stop and do the math.
Front door.
Yeah, I turned 40 on Deep Space Nine, and yeah, so yeah, you were like 22 or something though.
I was 27.
Oh, okay. Then you were
everything I just say with a 7 after it. I don't know.
And you're 56.
Oh, I'm 56. Thank you. I'm 56. Oh God, I've been thinking I'm 57 all this time. Whew! I can go running again.
So I'm only 10 years older than you. That's less than
the thing. How have you been? Tell me about yourself. How has COVID been, and how has all this last 2 years been? Where are you? Where did you end up?
I'm in Denver. I've been here for almost 20 years now. Yeah, I mean, I left Hollywood. It just was, you know, Deep Space Nine was great, and then I worked on Roswell after that, and then it got really thin because of reality TV and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, I got out of Dodge, and I've been here for almost, well, I guess 18 years, like this month, and I had several different jobs. I was working when the pandemic hit, but I got laid off or furloughed, and then I looked and I thought, you know what, I could retire, so I did.
Congratulations, that's fantastic.
It is, and I wasn't sure this would happen, but I got a SAG pension, which was very exciting.
What are your memories of Deep Space Nine? How do you remember it? Because I don't think anyone has ever asked you, you know, that. I mean, they must have asked you, but because they do interviews and stuff all the time. But that's an interesting thing, because we're asked, some of the characters who played the leads asked it all the time. But we refer to what was it like? What were we like?
You were fantastic, and I'm
of
sure
course.
nobody here. Seriously though, dude, you were one of the best guys in Hollywood. We used to play golf, if you remember. Little 3-par. You were very good.
Did you look forward to getting into work? What was the vibe? And what did you know about the show? And because I know you were there for the whole, you were the whole time you were there.
First day, last day, yeah.
Absolutely, you were one of the core group of people. What did you feel about it?
For me, it was the best job I ever had. But I mean, I could say that with reservation. As you know, the hours were absolutely brutal. And I mean, ask people like Bill Mooney, who guested on our show. He did an interview where he talked about his time on Deep Space Nine, and he was doing Babylon 5 in alien makeup. And even he was surprised how many hours we put in. I mean, that's like the main thing you remember. But
Remember
it was,
that part in the pilot we did 22 hours one day?
I do. Because we had the time-saving crane.
Yeah.
No, it was good times. I mean, I have a lot of great memories, but it's been a long time ago now. But it was a really good experience for me, for sure.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite show? Do you anything like that? I get asked that, and because it's so disassociated from the actual work, you don't, when you're working, you don't really know about the show. You're just interacting. It's obviously going to be a show eventually, and they'll cut it together, and it's going to be episode 12. But at the time, it's just Tuesday or Friday. It doesn't feel like I'm doing a particular show. And now, I look back and I see there are shows like Far Beyond the Stars, or some of the great shows that came, out of that whole series. But at the time, I would never have been able to tell you which particular show we were doing. I would have to look at the front of the script and go, oh, we're doing Far Beyond the Stars, or past tense. We're doing past tense.
Plus, they changed daily. We had piles of colored paper this high, and if you learned your lines, you were wrong because they changed them while you were sleeping.
Yeah. We got good at that.
I liked. I think my own personal favorites were Little Green Men was hilarious. I thought when we were doing it, when we did Trials and Tribulations.
Oh yeah.
I told everybody, I said, this is the coolest thing we've ever done. I said, it might be the coolest thing we ever do. And maybe it was.
That is actually one show that we knew we were doing at the time. It wasn't just an ordinary day at work. That was so special. And all the old classic guys would come to set and hang out. And, and we all looked so ridiculous. It was fantastic.
I have a picture. I'm not astute enough to display it right now because I don't have it in this tablet, but I have a picture of you and you in your TOS uniform with the short pants. And I think I was wearing shorts because I was just standing in that day, but in the cool. Original Enterprise hallway. I mean, that was some cool stuff.
That's so true. I always thought I looked like the guy with the beanie from the Monkees. That's what I thought I looked like. The tall, skinny one. That's the guy. I thought when I saw that, I was like, I'm the guy with the beanie from the Monkees. That's what I am. I'm a brown him with none of that talent, but the hair is exactly the same. So yeah, we hung out a lot because Miles and I were a team on the show, and you and I and my double would be around the whole time.
Yes, and you were kind of new in town, and and you weren't one of those people who thought you were too good to hang out with a stand-in.
Yeah. And I hung out with one of the production assistants in the office because I was in my 20s and I had absolutely no friends in America. She suddenly wasn't there anymore, but she got a message from the studio saying she wasn't allowed to fraternize with the actors, so we had to stop hanging out.
That's just wrong.
Kind of weird. Yeah, I know.
I'm not real surprised. But yeah, so I mean, we used to play golf, we used to play pool, stuff like that. But then once you got married and the show ended, we lost touch. And that's but yeah. So let me ask you, so where are you? Are you in New York?
I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in Southwest Massachusetts.
Oh, that's cool. I had no idea. I didn't know if you were in England. I see you, what movies you do. I was so excited to see you in Game of Thrones, but it was only for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. I spent a little bit of time in Los Angeles. I've realized I couldn't get run over as an actor after being
Really?
not a thing, and I just couldn't get any work. Luckily, we earned enough money to be unemployed for a bit, which is the only upside of this sort of work, where you work like 10 weeks in the year, but you earn pretty much your whole income for the year in that 10 weeks. At least that's how it works for me. And I went back to England because my father wasn't doing great, and I stayed there for until 5 years ago. And I met my wife. I'm married, Shana, who was also a stand-in, which was also a double.
Not on Star Trek.
Not on Star Trek, no. She was a double on one of the other famous shows, but I can't remember what it's. Met her. She came out to England. We spent 5 years there, and we've been 5 years here. She's an attorney here, and she does public defender work, and I'm out of work most of the time.
Yeah, but you work, and you've got residual. I mean, I see you. I've seen most of the things that you've done. I haven't watched Peaky Blinders yet, but it's been recommended to me. And I heard
Peaky Blinders is actually a very good show. I mean, it's very good. Nothing to do with me. I'm in it for 2 seconds, but it is a fantastic show. I've been in everything for 2 seconds, basically.
And that's not true. I saw the Cairo. Was it Cairo Time? I was actually.
You saw that?
I did.
Wow.
I saw it quite a while ago. I think it was pretty new when I saw it.
Yeah, it was about 15 years ago or something like that now. It's a wonderful, wonderful film. And what's going on in your life? So,
like I say, I live in Denver. I'm looking at a 60-degree day with snow on the ground, which is kind of typical for here this time of year. March can be our snowiest month. I'm hanging out. We're going to get back into golf a little bit for the first time, I think, in a long time. I live with a lovely lady who owns her home, and so we don't have a big expense.
Fantastic.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good to see your face again. I feel like I may have picked the wrong day to try this with all the, I mean, there's so much heavy stuff going on in the world. And but your guests were amazing to hear
they
from.
Are. Every week, everybody thinks they're going to be really uninteresting, and people find them fascinating. And it's been an incredible trip. We've been doing this about, I guess it's coming up to 2 years in a couple of months. So we've been hanging out for a long while.
Well, I can't believe that. Every time I kept telling myself, well, I should do that. I keep wanting to say hey to Sid. Anyway, finally, I tried it. This is only the second time I ever used Zoom. So I think that's also,
we are honored. We are honored. We have a really great, diverse group of people here. Like every kind of shape, color, size, make, model person is hanging out here.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm sorry. I'd love to pass on my email address to you.
Absolutely. Well, I don't have an assistant, but Mel will do it. She's the actual boss.
Right, and I think she has my email because I had to use it to sign up with this. So I'd love for her to pass that on to you.
Please, she will. She won't mess up.
And I'd love to come on one day when some of the others like Nana or I know that Andy has been on, and I'd love to say hey to Andy again too.
We will, if we get them on, we'll shoot you a message. I'll shoot you a message to let
you know.
Cool,
and I feel like I should bail for the sake of the. You said you wanted to talk to 2 more people, and I was one. So,
I would love that, but I love the fact that you came and said hi. It's so.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. It's so great to see your face.
You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome, like everybody, all the time.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Randy.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go check in with Susanna real quick.
Hi.
Hey, Susanna. How are you?
Well, I'm alive, which I didn't think I would be. So yay.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Why did you not think you would be?
Because last time we talked, I was graduating from high school, and now I'm on union. That's like
Yeah. That's hilarious. That's really great. Well, congratulations on graduating from high school. And now congratulations being at uni. What is life like? You loving it?
Well, life was really good up until like the beginning of the semester, because I study in Prague and I study IT, which was not what I wanted to study.
How do you end up studying what you don't want to study?
Basically, the thing I wanted to study, the multimedia, it was loads of people wanted to go there. So there were like entrance exams, and I just messed them up a little bit. Like one question, which is what interests me.
You're gonna have to do that again. Well, you know what the beauty is, that you can do it you can learn so much yourself. And the fact that you're at university, you have all the stuff, all the stuff you can get help from and with, and you can talk to people, and you can get really, really good at multimedia just on your own back. Because I left university after a year, so I wasn't very good at my university. I found that the lure of earning actual money working in a bar was much more fun than doing things. So I was a terrible student, but I started to really learn stuff after, because I started to be really interested in things. You, on the other hand, are going to be an amazing student, aren't you?
No.
I just realized what a bad
I'm managing. I am managing, and I actually found out, because I did not get to study in a multimedia, but in my application, I wrote that if I do not manage to get there, I want my score to be transferred to a different, what is it called? Not subject.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I ended up studying IT. And it also means, because it's still on the same school, it's literally the same like faculty, I believe.
Yeah.
I used to meet like loads of multimedia people, and after talking to them, I just realized that is not what I want to do. And I realized that is not what I would like to do, because I already have so much outside of school that I do.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a hard time realizing, no, that's not what I would love to do.
Yeah.
And also like, I would not really love to be like completely creative because of my job, because it would like drain me.
Yeah. Do you find good company? Have you got are there people you like?
Yeah, it was actually like having friends and finding friends and like people to like work with technically in the classes made me basically pass the first semester, because I was really stressed and everything, but having like the people around I could actually talk to and maybe ask, it was like made things much easier. The way we all passed it, like me and two of my friends, was that like 2 nights before the test, we would like hang out together and we would like talk about stuff we did not understand. So if I did not understand something, someone else probably would hit.
Perfect. What are your other interests that are taking up so much of your time that you're loving? What are the things?
Yeah.
What sort of things? Don't tell me Irish dancing.
Reading. I used to read a lot, but because of graduation, and graduation in Czech Republic is basically you have to read 20 books, and then you will take one. You don't know which one, and you will have to talk about it. So I was preparing for that, meaning I would read loads of books.
Are you writing as well?
I used to write a lot. Then it just kind of fell, and now I'm trying to back to it. Yes, fan fiction and stuff, and it's like I'm trying to like basically write down my daydreams, which are all very cringy.
Please do. Like, I think it's a really good idea. I really do. I mean, I think there's so many different things you can do. I mean, there was someone I got in a car with when I got to Melbourne, Australia, a very lovely person, driver of the car. And she was saying, I sleep talk. And I was like, oh, cool. And she said, and yesterday, and she played me a recording of her sleep talking. And she was like, you can't do that because Alexander won't like it. And she records her sleep talks every night. And she sleep talks clockwork. And this just happened to be the one where she said Alexander. I know she wasn't referring to me because I had never met the woman. There is no way she was referring to me. But she's about to make an album, like a kind of interesting kind of volume from sleep talk stuff. And that's really exciting to me. So daydreams is very much the same sort of area. And I think there's a whole sort of metaphysical world where these things exist in really exciting places. And goodness knows you've got enough writers here to get help.
Oh, yeah.
They're all.
If I need, I can just ask anyone.
Anyone. They're all writing. They're all writing.
I know.
That's fantastic. And you've got so reading is. Oh, what's your favorite book? Who's your favorite writer at the moment? Who's exciting you?
Oh
I know
dear,
it changes
it's
every
just
day.
there was this like two-year gap when I didn't read whatsoever. So any writer I used to really like that I come now back to, it's like a bit off. You understand? Because things change.
Yeah.
But I still have like 3 books from Ben Aronovich. Yes, I'm saying it.
Oh yeah.
It's called, he has an urban fantasy series called The Rivers of London. And I was really into that. I really loved it all. School and stuff I forgot to read. So now I have like 3 more books unread on my bookshelf and I need to get to it.
You can read them. It's going to be so much fun to lose yourself in books again. It'll be so much fun.
Yes. And I also like tried to read comic books. I actually started reading Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Right.
I have the goal of reading all the books that are supposed to be in the new series. He is going to have a series on Sandman on Netflix.
Oh yes, yes. David Goyer, my friend David Goyer is behind that, and I asked to be involved in that because I really liked the idea of it. It didn't work out. It didn't work. I don't know whether it was me or whether I got another job that made it impossible, because I worked on Foundation with David, and he usually asked me to come and do something for pretty much all his shows. I just, whether or not the time comes, because he did Da Vinci's Demons, and that's where we became friends.
Yes.
And he's got this crazy imaginative, explosively imaginative mind. And he's doing the Foundation series, which I think is very impressive. And then he's doing this Sandman. So I think that's going to be, I think it's going to be really good. That's what I think. That's what I knew. As soon as I knew he was doing it, it's like a marriage of the right minds doing these things. Oh, fantastic! That's really going to be, that's really cool. I mean, your English is so good. You can pretty much, you've got Czechoslovakian under your, whatever you want to read in that language. You can probably read in a few other Eastern languages too.
I once tried.
Yeah.
And then there was like one fanfic that like caught my eye, because there was basically, if there is some mention of Czech Republic or Prague, it has my eye. And there was like mention of Prague, so I looked at it and it was in Polish, and I was like, oh sure, why not? And then I actually managed to read quite a few.
You can read it, yeah.
So
of course.
I was like, I do not care for this.
They're related. I mean, I read Dostoevsky just last year, and the brothers Karamazov, and I wish I could speak Russian. I wish I could have read him in his real, and same thing I think of Tolstoy. Two of my favorite writers are Russian, and I just can't get to them in their real language. So that's why I love music, because there's no language that I have to worry about. And even if it's in Italian, I don't care. I can hear it, and it's just music.
Yes, I know.
And it's beautiful. I don't miss nuances. I don't feel I miss nuances. I probably do. But I don't feel I do. Do you love music?
Oh, I do. I used to play clarinet and saxophone, but I do not like that much unless I was playing with a band. But one thing I'm really into is movie soundtracks and soundtracks overall. And God, like a few weeks ago, I was writing to my friend for like an hour why soundtracks in one series are good and in other they are bad.
Oh my gosh. You should talk to Rose. She's in this club. You've talked to her about this.
Yeah, definitely. Like
that's her jam.
Quiz times. Yeah,
that's her thing. I mean, and you mentioned manga, and I think that's also her thing. So you're going to be their thing. There was a brilliant one season, alas, only of a Steven Soderbergh TV show called The Nick, about a 19th century hospital in New York, and it's the Knickerbocker. That's my dog. She's just shouting. Yeah.
We love her.
My guys are on the phone. My guys are on the phone. Everyone be quiet. They're doing a Zoom. She's telling everyone. The one thing I remember about that was actually the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack to The Nick. I mean, it's a great TV series if you want to see, and it's great because it's only got one season, because you don't have to go, I'm committed for 8 years.
You can binge it.
Exactly. But the music is beautiful, and Steven Soderbergh, if he's good at anything at all, he's an editor a master editor, one of the greatest editors we've got, in the world today. And I think that's actually his talent. Some people are more sort of visual.
Wrote it down.
The Nick.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm just happy to see you smiling.
It took me a while to get here.
Yeah, it's great though. It really is great. So I made friends with like 2 people in my whole university.
Yes.
But there were just too many people. And I really didn't like being cool. And so I trapped myself. I couldn't do anything cool to be amusing or entertaining. So I just hung with a guy from my geography class, and he had a friend. So I hung with him too.
And just kind of like hung.
And that's how
it was
my
fun.
life
Like my faculty had like this thing that where like, oh, we take the first years and put them in like small groups so they can help each other. Our group just ended after the first meeting or whatever, but I still have that one friend from there, and we are really good friends. And funniest thing is he is the second person I've ever met who is into Eurovision, so it's like we have something to talk about.
Wow. Yeah, that's my idea of a nightmare, being put in a room with some people just to get on. My mum used to do that. Did your mum used to do that? To just put me, like, no. There are other children my age, and so she put us together and just left us.
No, my mom was the type who would put me in so many like things to learn. So.
Made me so nervous. It's like, hello, we are supposed to get on. We are both children.
Talk about toys.
Yeah. Well, listen, Zuzana, I love catching up with you. Thank you very much. You've made all of us smile.
I hope so.
Have fun for the rest of this semester.
I'll try.
Good.
We'll try.
Thanks, Susanna. Good to see you. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks for sticking with us.
All right, have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Thank you.